Hello everyone. Today, let's discuss the calculation methods for the Consumer Price Index, CPI. In a previous video, we touched upon the concepts of inflation and deflation and reviewed the changes in Japan's price levels. Remember, when price levels consistently rise, we have inflation. When they consistently fall, it's deflation. By examining the CPI, we discovered that the price level has been trending upward for about a year. At the end of the last video, I showed you some numerical examples and asked you whether the price level is rising, how much it is rising, and how we should calculate it. What were the results? One method involves calculating how much additional money is needed to maintain the same consumption level in the base year, 2020, compared to the comparison year, 2022. In other words, we examine price changes using the base year's quantities. This method yields the Laspeyres index, of which the CPI is a typical example. Let's dive into the calculations. First, the cost of living in the base year 2020 is 100 by 40 plus 200 by 100 equals 24,000. The cost of living in the comparison year 2022 is 110 by 40 plus 250 by 100 equals 29,400. In this case, the CPI is 100 by 29,400 24,000ths equals 122.5. This indicates a 22.5% increase in the price level compared to the base year 2020. In reality, a 22.5% increase in the price level would likely cause significant economic and social disruption, but remember, this is just a numerical example. While the CPI employs the Laspeyres index, which is based on base year quantities, there is another notable index that utilizes comparison year quantities, the Pasha index. The GDP deflator is a prime example of the Pasha index, and we'll take a moment to introduce it here. The GDP deflator is calculated by dividing the nominal GDP by the real GDP. For our purposes, we'll use the value multiplied by 100 for indexing. First, let's determine the nominal GDP for the comparison year 2022. Replace that quantity in the previous table with output. 110 by 40 plus 250 by 60 equals 19,400. Thus, the nominal GDP is 19,400. Note that we use the comparison year 2022 values for the quantities. The real GDP is the same output valued at the prices of the base year 2020. 100 by 40 plus 200 by 60 equals 16,000. Consequently, when we index the GDP deflator, we get 100 by 19,416 thousandths equals 121.25. As a result of the same production activity, the GDP is valued at 16,000 with 2020 prices and 19,400 with 2022 prices. This shows a price level increase of approximately 21.3%. The same numerical example produces slightly different inflation rates. Generally, the Laspeyres index tends to yield larger values, while the Pasha index results in smaller values. Understanding the calculations behind the data may offer fresh insights. Today, we've explored the methods for calculating the price index. We hope to see you again soon.